your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger.
Money over on my install. Here lies young getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, he already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 9 to 6. You a shook one, Reeves and all the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my. I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a. Here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my. Strictly for my. Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth. Skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And now here come the Ravens. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Jackson to throw again. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep down and got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And they'll go on the ground. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on first down. His throw incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Detroit!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Going for it all. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, Jackson flush to his right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run with Breida. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of it. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now let's go!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Flacco looking for his first toss. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Play action. It's Jackson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now it's Breida. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. He'll go with the keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Garoppolo on 1st down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Detroit!
After the interception, here's Jackson. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. From the gun, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Throwing is Jackson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the intercept. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
12.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
11.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
21.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he go gain on the play, and it'll be second. On play action. Now Garoppolo. And the hit jarred loose. It's in. And receivers, everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on third, Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. A big gain of 38 there on third down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Caught left side, Garcon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here's Bernard. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Jackson now off the bootleg. Out to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Garoppolo, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Wait.
Here's Breida. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. And they'll run it here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down from up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Garoppolo. And that's off the mark. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
11.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Garoppolo. And now another one thrown incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 38 yards on the scamper there.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach, because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and sneak it here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now a carry for Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Baltimore, the wins keep coming as this one moves.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands.